Nadine's Dog Colors, April 2020. Hi Nadine, it's Brenna here in my studio. I've got colors on my palette and a sketch of your two dogs. Your question was, how do I mix the colors for my orange dog and my black dog? So I'll try to answer that for you today. Okay. I am here. Hi. It's just easier not to shoot my face because that would be another camera. I'm looking up your pictures of your dog on my phone. Okay, let's start with the orange dog. So I've got your orange dog here. Okay, have I gone mad, Nadine? I've gone mad, color mad for you. Okay, so I'm gonna write down my recipes, and then I think I'm gonna do a different video so you don't see them as I'm mad. Here's what I found out of my mad color mixing. I found out 3 things. I found out that if you mix burnt umber with yellow cad yellow, that is one of your colors of your dog. And oddly enough, it is, you could do variety. More yellow would get the more yellow bits, and more, my paper's moving around there, and more burnt umber would get the darker bits. And then you could go and you could subdivide that and make some lighter bits with that, and it will be one of your colors for your dog. The lighter ones. It seems to be in the lighter range. That's one of your lighter range ones. So that's one of them. The next one is, recipe is yellow ochre and burnt umber. And this is going to give another one of your colors for your dog. And that's a more browny, warmy one. And again, you can just tip it more burnt umber or more yellow ochre and tip to both scales of it. So that's in your dog too. So the third color in your dog is cadmium. This is more orangey bits of your dog. Cadmium red medium, cadmium yellow medium. You get an orange, but you might already have cad orange. If you have cad orange, that's all this is. Pretty intense, huh? But the cadmiums are such bright colors. So you get an orange. And then from there, you want to tone it down. I think I might give it more yellow. So you get a lighter orange there. So you got your orange, which is just cad orange. And then you subdivide it and you put a bit of cobalt blue in it. It's complement. And so that is almost in there, but you know what it needs also? Some of your magenta. You know your background color, that purpley background color? That's what it is. And I think that that's another one of your colors. Cobalt, magenta, orange. See, sort of a dirty orange. Yep, that's one of your colors in there. Yep, and it's going to give it that little bit of pop of extra brightness. See how these are a bit dull, and that's going to be a bit bright. I would go back to this one and add more purple. Remember purple and blue? Any purple, any blue will tamp down orange. Don't worry if you don't have the ones I have. I keep wanting to go to this indanthrene because I just love it. It makes things so nice and dark. but I don't think you're gonna have that color. It's always tricky to change the lighting of something. I saw an online course for that. You're on an online course right now. But it was from an animator, a Disney animator, about how to change the lighting even when it's not lit the way you want. So I'd say it's almost yellowish in these little bits here where it's highlighted. So I'm just going to choose this whole side is highlighted because, remember, this dog is lit from that way. So I'm going to do this one. And I'm just ruffling it along, and it's got that color. And I'm just going to drag some white into it as I go, because remember, this side is lighter, and I just want to drag it in while it's still wet. And so everything's so dry lately. I think it must be really low humidity. Everything's just sort of scratchy dry when I paint lately. So I'm making that whole side like it's just sunlight's hitting that side. Even the snout, I'm thinking, okay, this side of the snout is going to be lighter. I know you have those little ruffly lines there of the dog. I'm just going to ignore them for now. But try not to lose the nose, the outline of the nose you got. Okay, so cute dog. What a nice choice you did. So let's go to our other one, our darker one, which is the brown, the burnt umber and, was it burnt umber and yellow ochre? Yeah. So this would be the more hidden one in here. And I'm just putting it in where it's hidden from the light, where the little ear curls under. And here the ear is going to curl under. So it's almost a warm brown, isn't it? This little worried look above the eyebrow there, right? One that's the orange with the complement in it with a bit of purple and a bit of blue. What's that going to do? I put that in there. It's just going to pop up the color and make it a bit more orangey, right? Because that dog isn't exactly yellow. It's more orangey. See, and giving these 3 varieties of color is really going to, I don't know, make it more exciting in the dog coloring. And if you want it darker, I'm just going to start dragging and dropping as I go. I grab that purple. So that was the darker bit. Yeah, there we go. It's getting a bit darker. And I'm liking that to give it a bit darker. Is this what you were hoping for? I hope so. I hope this is what you were hoping for. And then, yeah, make sure it's really dark where it's supposed to be dark. Oh, so just staring at you. I want to give this little dog a treat or something. And then I put this side of the ear is a lot darker because it's hidden away from us. So it's hidden away. Oops, gotta like grab more paint. I'm going super thin here. I might get my bigger brush in here to fill the areas. There, I can push it a bit more. So that's pretty darn brown. You're going, that's way too brown, Brenna. Let's go ahead, don't worry. We can bring our bits of our, this was the cad yellow and burnt umber through that. So with the curls, you're just going to keep layering, putting in little dark bits in there, and then also layering with the warmer bits. And I don't mind choosing a cooler side. See how that's cooler and this is warmer because the light is hitting it. Cleaning it off. And just playing with it and making sure you fill it all in. Just fill it all in. And then just play with adding more white to it, adding more yellow to it over that side there. And then that's the orangey bits in here, the sort of squiggly orangey bits. Basically, you're asking me for the colors, so I'm trying to give you the colors here. And then it gets pretty dark underneath the little chin. I don't know if you have the mouth. I don't think you have the mouth in yours. I think you cut him off before the mouth. So I won't demo that down there. That's a cutoff point for you. But this is where I make sure that this side of the little snout, like you want it to look not flat. So this side of the snout will be a bit darker in there. A bit darker right there. See, once I do that, then it sort of becomes long, a long snout, not a flat snout. And then those are just little fluffies that make it stick out a bit there, right? See, layering, layering, layering. Look at that ear, how it's starting to get very, very layered. So that's what I would do. I'd paint it way more than once. I just keep letting, you know, with acrylic, that's the joy of it. It keeps drying, and then you can keep just subtly glazing and layering and playing over top of it. See, I'm adding more white into that yellow over there. So your dog is orangey yellow. The highlights are yellowish. And the low lights are, they are warmy brown orange here. These ones here. And I'm trying to get that fluffiness of it. And then where does it get? And then I'm thinking, this little bit is brighter right there, quite a bit brighter. And then it curves over. And then really have to switch to a smaller brush here because it gets quite dark under the eye here. Goes in a slow down, I go right in there to give it a lot of weight, right? You did such gorgeous eyes. I'm not going to do the eyes on this one because I don't need to. You already did them so well in there. And that, I would go back to this one and add more purple. Remember, purple and blue? Any purple, any blue will tamp down orange. Don't worry if you don't have the ones I have. I keep wanting to go to this indanthrene because I just love it. It makes things so nice and dark. But I don't think you're going to have that color. See there? It's going to just get a really dark. See, all of a sudden it starts to really pop when you have just that bit of darker. And I think it's the indanthrene blue. And like here. So once you get it on your brush, just keep going with it. See how I had it on my brush in that other area and realized, oh, I should go with it further in there. Yeah. And I would just keep going with that. I'm gonna just use some of that indanthrene blue. Maybe you have some sort of dark blue. And then I would make sure that it's in here maybe. Like I'm trying to figure out where the other little darker bits are of your dog. I'm not sure. maybe hidden right under there. Remember, it dries out, so just go and use a bit of the medium with it. And I'm just layering. I just keep at this, and I just keep layering to get it what I like to. And I know that your photo has like super duper highlights on it, but I'd be careful of those because that's the flash. So there's going to be some of those, maybe with just a pure white, but I would look where they are in this thing, and I'd put them in, but I wouldn't put them exactly as the flash was. I'd try and get them to look more like, yeah, they're more yellow than that. They're not pure white, right? I try to get them to look on this side, so it looks like. And if you make it more contrasty, like, okay, see that dark bit there? If I then layer some light right over top of it, it's really going to stand out because there's some sort of contrast happening. So don't overblend. Let some things like stand out, like there's wee little curls there or something, because they're going to really stand out if you let that happen. And then, boy, the nose comes at you. It's a bit... I don't have a stay wet palette. My things are drying out. Yep, they are. They really are. But yeah, I recommend a fluffy brush because you see how fluffy it's going to look. Oh, darn it. On my paper I had something on there. It's going to have a fluffy look automatically. You won't have to fight for that fluffy look. But I think that those are the colors of your dog. Those, I think, are the colors. That's what I'm going to say the colors are. I'm sticking with it. I'm going to talk a bit right now about what you might do for the edges of your dog. For, you know, how where you're going to meet that purple. And I wrote it down, but I forgot it. But I think it's this purple. I think that this is it. For Tessa's favorite purple. It's Party On Purple. That's what I'm going to call it. Party On Purple. Is that it? It's a random guess. And right now you have a very hard edge and it looks like a bit of a paper cutout. And you want to play with your edge to make your dog fluffy. So you're going to have to put it in wet. I think you go have a stripe or something up there. I feel like I'm doing a forgery of you, Nadine. I'm doing a forgery. That's funny, isn't it? Okay, so what I'm going to do here is you can't do too much at once with this because if you do it, it'll dry out. So I pick a little area that I'm going to create. So I'm going to do this little bit here. I make it all wet and slippery in the purplies. Then while it's wet and slippery, I'm going to look at my photo of the dog and I'm going to go, okay, what's that hair doing? How fluffy is this dog? That's a fluffy duffy dog. What's it doing? So I would like drag it out into that while it's wet. And you have to have a lot on your brush. And you can't just keep working it back and forth. You have to do a couple strokes and then you have to wipe off your brush or it'll just keep dragging the purple around. So I'm just going to go up. See those little strokes? Wipe off my brush. Stroke, 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 wipe off my brush. I might go with a brush with nothing on it. A blank brush. A brush with nothing on it, and I might scumble it together. Might go like that, do a bit of scrubbing to make it super soft and fluffy. Got some sort of flyaway bit to it. I see where I'm playing with the edge. I'm playing with my edge. And then you just have to repaint it again. Paint it, repaint it. Paint it once, paint it again. You painted it once, you thought you were done. Well, you're not. Surprise, surprise. Got to go back in there and make that fluffy, fluffy, duffy hair. because it goes like whoop, whoop, whoop. Cute. Cute but spooky because I don't have any eyes on this dog. So that you're going working back and forth with the with your purple there. Yeah. And it might have to be thicker in some places. Like I lost it a bit there, so I'm bringing it back. And then it has a bit of that orangey bit into it. And sometimes I would go to a smaller, even smaller brush. This is like really totally dried out on me. I might go with a smaller brush, and you can even just draw in some little tiny hairs. Like some little bitsy ones. Oops. And be a bit random with it, because if you have too much of a pattern and too precise, it's not going to look like hair, right? It's fluffy, fluffy duffy dog. I'm just going to work on this side. So you just want some random hairs in there. To make it fluffy. Is that helping you at all? I don't know. It's hard for me to stop. Like I get so perfectionist-y. I want to finish the whole dog, but I don't think I'll have time to get to the other dog for you if I do that. I mean the other dog. So let's get to the other dog for you before we run out of time. Oh, I can't stop. Okay, that's looking like the same colors as your dog. Okay, I've got to stop. Stop me now. Stop me from this because I got to get to your black one. Your black dog is calling, saying, help me. Help me, Brenna. Hi, Nadine. This is the second half, and we're doing your black dog now. And your black dog, it is black, but black is pretty tricky color to do in painting. So black, we're talking about, you've got the black part, and I've got some black. I don't usually rarely use it, but black, and let's see, I want to say yellow ochre. Black and yellow ochre to get the warm side. Is it yellow ochre? Just a little bit. You can't even tell it's there. It just looks like gray, but it'll be a warmy gray because you've got yellow ochre in it. Yeah, that looks pretty good. It's just warmed up your gray. You might be able to go with cad. Let's try cad. My gut is saying yellow ochre. But what happens when you add cad? Cad yellow to it. Oh, forever experimenting. The mad scientist here on the palette. No, it gives a greeny one, which isn't quite as nice. Gives a different one. It's warmer too, but in a different way. See that? It's just a different one. Ooh, I like that too though. So I don't think it matters, just a yellow the yellow with your black to give you white to give you those light bits. And then on the other side, the cool side, it's quite dark there, but you want to get some little cool bits. So I would go with your black again, your black, and this time I just add a bit of blue to it. Do I have other stuff on my thing? I think I do have a bit of orange left on it or something. And a bit of blue to it. A bluey black. And let's see what that was when we add some white to it. You can't really tell till the white goes in, and then you can just see the difference there. It's just on the bluey side, and that's for your other side. You can even tip it, and it wouldn't be as bright. You see, that's our light. You want it to be a low light, so it has to be a bit darker than the other ones of tone-wise. So that would be the bluey one on the other side. You could even tip it to a, like that's just with straight blue. You could tip it. What happens when you add a little bit of purple? See, the mad scientist in me comes out. I just want to keep changing it. Because purple's also a cool color. Ooh, I like that purple. You know why I like a bit of purple? Because then they're opposites on the color wheel. But you can either go with the purpley gray one, or you can go with the bluey gray one. The two different ones. Yeah. So that's the highlights of your black. And your black, even in your blacks, you can tip your blacks from the warm side to the cool side. So your black, you have two blacks, and one you just add a bit of red to warm it up. Red or even a warmy brown. This brown is in the warm side. It's very subtle. You can't even see it's there hardly. It's a suggestion. And then the other one you can add, again, you can add your blue or your purple. And it's hard to know it's there, but it is there. It's subtly there. So I'd add a bit of purple with it. So there you have two different blacks going on. One for the cool side, which is your left-hand side, and one for your other side, your right-hand side, which is your warm. Should we try and paint this on your thing? This is much simpler than your other dog. So it just goes under the ears, right? And then in here where it switches, it's sort of just a mirror of the other dog, like they're sort of a mirror of each other. You can, once you get them sort of blocked in, then you can make them more individualistic things that are happening in them. Let's see, and a bit of there. So, and you've got a bit, put black, pure black right there. So that is the warm black. I don't even tell, but it's just there. And then you go on the other side, you go with your cool black. Remember your black that has just a bit of hidden blue in it. And it would be here, like around the eye there. Oh, I need medium. It's dry here lately. Everything I paint just sort of sticks. So that smoothed it out. And then it's going to go under. And under. And once you get this dog in, it might be so contrasty, you'll have to add more contrast to that one. Remember about walking them back and forth, so what this one doesn't look just totally black and white, and the other one looking totally pale. You gotta have them keep going at the same time. Okay, so once you have your darks blocked in a bit, I start with the dark to anchor it. I like the blacks there to anchor it. Got a nice little tuft there, doesn't it? Dragging some medium in there. It's got a lot of light in it. Like, this is a dark dog, but it's got a lot of light. Remember we were going with the warm one? This was yellow ochre. And then I had yellow ochre here. So warmy yellow ochre. say a bit of pink in there. You go, Brenna, really? But pink is warm too. So I'm just going to drag a bit of pink and see what happens. Yeah, I don't know why. I just wanted a bit of pink in there. And then it's going to be a variety of those too, right? The warm dark and the yellow ochre. Like the different amounts of them in different places. Like it might be more yellowy on this side where it's closer to the sun. Might get more yellow in there, yellowy. Squitchy, scratchy, squitchy, scratchy. So blocking it in. And then the other side, it's a lot darker on the other side. It's mainly dark on this side, so I'd fill in the darks. And I get those individual tufts that are happening. So it's mainly dark on that side, and it's really dark. So I would lay down the dark first. And then once the dark is sort of laid in, gosh, I really like the flyaway bits to this hair. They're quite nice. I can't get into the holes, so more medium gets get into the holes right away. And then there's darkness around that little nose, right? And darkness down there. And so that made it look super fluffy, haven't I? So then you'd go with the smaller brush, and then with you make your low lights happen. I keep forgetting I'm working with acrylic, and I keep drying out my brushes. Okay, these are your low lights, and there are the purpley, bluey ones with black, right? And then here I would just decide, there are longer hairs in this dog. The other one's curly, and I decide, okay, it goes like that. I start putting in individual hairs right over top of the black. But see how nice they stand right out because you've already laid your black down. And then they really are, they go up over the top. They have and then it sort of transitions here, doesn't it? A little transition. And then if it's too stark for you, you could go with your a brush with nothing on it, and you could like fluff it out in areas. If it's like too stark, too graphic, right? I'm just roughing it up a bit, keeping those things, but just roughing them up a bit. And then again, just like the other one, it's continually going back and forth. When it's with hair, you add one layer, and then you like touch it up and add another layer. It's not about doing it perfectly, it's about layering, making layers. Layering it, layering it, layering it, to make it a bit more complex. But see how that stands out? So that's the bluey black and a pale bluey purpley light tone in there. So let's go to the other side, which is your warm darks. And so your warm darks has the opposite. You're going to get some of the dark with a bit of medium and go with your little brush. And then in here, you're going to like pull some stuff out. Pull some little individual hairs out. Pull out hair. That's not what I mean. Okay, you're going to go like that. I can't seem to get it thick enough. It's gotten all watery on me. What's going on here? It's got like little, and then these ones come out, right? Little fluffs from there, and this are ones that come straight up from there. So again, having fun with the individual like patterning of hair. Hair grows in little groups in a direction. It's sort of like waves or wind or something, or it has growth patterns, right? It's these ones here, they're gonna go like that, and these ones, they're gonna be long swoops. Have fun with the fur. Have fun with your strokes. This is for Tess. She's going to love seeing your painting strokes because she's a painter too, right? She'll go, oh, my mom's hand was there making this little furry stroke at this point in time. I like that. So little bits of drawing, right? It's like adding little bits of drawing in there. And then again, just like I said before, it's going to be fluffing some things out, keeping something solid, fluffing others out. But that means just going back and forth, and then when you do this one, right? Back and forth. Adding some, subtracting some. Layer, little layers happening. Wow, it's got a really wild hairdo now. I think this one has to go to get a trim. This dog needs a trim. It's very, very funny. Where is the little eye there? I've got so much going on. I think the eye is there. I hope I haven't gone over the eye. Oh, and that's why you're so lucky you put in the eye first. You won't lose the eye. But that's how I would do it. It's going back and forth. Do you want to see? And then I would just keep layering, and have fun, fluff things around. See, remember I talked about the contrast. You see, they're having the dark down and adding light. Just how we had the dark down, add the light. If you're over here and you have the dark down and you add the light, it's going to be nice too, right? Yeah. And just work with this. It's a really nice tonal study for you. You're going to learn a lot because there's not a lot of color, so you're really going to look at the grayscale of it. How dark? Where does it turn? It's got like a little ridge here of where it's just pure black, and it goes all the way down like that. All the way down. Okay, so see, I just want to keep painting and painting, but I can't because I want to show you one more thing, and this is not it. I want to show you how to do the background again with this. We're just gonna add a bit of that purple, I don't know what it is. I think it's your same purple. I really do. It looks very lively. I could look at it now so I'd know what it is. It is magenta. Arca magenta. Arca magenta. That's what I have. It's probably like, wow, 20 years old or more. Some of my paints are, gosh, really old because I painted for so long, and some of my colors I don't use that often. But this is a really hot color. Remember it in my paintings. And here I'm going to have to look at my, I can't just wing this. I have to look, okay, right in here. The dog has a little cuts down in there. See, some goes all the way out, and these ones come all the way out. So play with your edge, put it in there, and then come back. Come back with your brush. It can be your tiny brush. Is that a tiny one? And this is the bluey one. And I might go have little wisps that go and building up little layers of it, right? Layer over to give it fluffy. So that's a little cutout one. I might use my other one if I want softer, like over here is a little, that's the wrong one, softer and lighter right in here. Dry it off, make sure it doesn't, You can do a little bit of scumbly action. And again, you'll have to play with it, back and forth, back and forth. And it might have ones that are like just even like lighter in there. But play with your edge. You see how if you play with your edge, all of a sudden this fluff factor goes up, and then it says dog. It says fluffy dog out for play. What's going on there? Yeah, here it's really nice. It's got some individual strands that go up here. They go, and this is where I'd look at actual individual strands and paint those. You can like have fun with lots, and then a few of them just really focus in and go, okay, this is what it's actually doing here. It's doing that. Curious, huh? Curious little hairdo. And that'll make it individualistic to have that little bit. And this part has an extra curl up. Remember, it's like waves. It's like, it's got little patterns in the waves. Yeah. Okay, and then when I do it, again, back and forth, I'd take some of that, I'd cut in with a bit of the, what's that, magenta again? How come I can't remember it? Yeah, magenta. I cut in with the magenta again, and I go, okay, maybe there's little bits in, oh, it's watery. Maybe there's little bits in here, like that, like cut it in, right? So it'd be like if you were looking through a little tree or something, and through the bushes, you'd see little cutout bits. When you see through the fur, is that making any sense? Even in here, like little ones that are, you'll see them in your photograph. They're in there. I'm not making these up. You'll see them. I'm not that creative. I'm just copying what I see too much all the time. Just copy what I see. But yeah, cutting things out. Little cutouts. Not too much. You don't want to lose that some of the wild fluffiness. If I do too much of it, I'm going to lose my wild fluffiness. So what did I say? Back and forth, right? Brush with nothing on it. Do a little bit of wiggling. I don't know. Okay, I got to stop or I'm going to start wrecking stuff. Yay, Nadine. Here's my little thumb. Yay, have fun with this. Have any more questions, just ask me. Have fun with your dogs. Woof, woof. Bye for now.